Good morning, my dear students. After the holidays, we will continue with our chapter 10 that we were doing earlier. Chapter 10 is the measures of center tendency, median, and mode. Today, we will pursue the next topic, that is graphic presentation of median. For presenting the median graphically, we can use less than and more than ogive curves. We can use less than ogive approach. We can also use more than ogive approach, and we can use both less than and more than ogive curve together to find out the median graphically. First of all, we will do the less than ogive approach. Now, under this approach, less than ogive, firstly we will convert the series into less than cumulative frequency distribution. Means whatever in the question series is given to us, we will convert that into less than cumulative frequency distribution. Then we will draw the less than ogive curve. After that, in the third step, we will find n by 2th item, and we will mark that n by 2th item on the y-axis. Say if in our example or in our question n is 100, then n by 2 will be 50. Then we will draw or we will point this 50 on our y-axis. Then from that point 50, we will draw a perpendicular to the right. Means we have to move our perpendicular to the right hand side, so that it would gonna cover the cumulative frequency ogive curve. Means it gonna cut out that curve which we have drawn in the second step. And where this curve will be intersected by the perpendicular, we will give a name to that very point. Suppose we are giving the name E. Then from that very point E, we will draw a perpendicular on the x-axis. Means firstly what we have done, we have created a perpendicular from that n by 2th point from y-axis to the ogive curve. Then from that point where that perpendicular intersected the ogive curve, that is E, we will draw a second perpendicular on the x-axis. Now where that perpendicular touches the x-axis, that particular point will be our median. I know these are the steps for calculating the calculating the median through less than ogive approach. Now we will do this, or we will understand it by an example here. Here is an illustration given to you. We have to determine the median value of the following series using graphic method. Marks are given and number of students are also given. When we gonna calculate the number of students here, then it will become number of items total become 100. Clear? Now we have to convert it firstly into cumulative frequency distribution, and that is also less than cumulative frequencies. Clear? Now here we are having the solution. Estimation of median through less than ogive approach. Firstly we will convert our series into less than series. Here it is less than 5, less than 10, less than 15, and in so on we have converted this into less than. Then we have to find out the less than cumulative frequency. For less than 5 we were having 4. For less than 10, the first two frequencies will be added. Here it is 10. How it is calculated? 4 plus 6. Then for less than 15 we will add up the second cumulative frequency plus the frequency of third interval, that is 10. So this is how we get 20. So in this way, by adding up the frequencies, we will have our cumulative frequency distribution. Now by using this table, we will draw the less than ogive curve. Here you can see on the y-axis we have shown number of students, and the on axis we have shown marks. And these are the cumulative frequencies that we have calculated in the table of cumulative frequency curve. Now when we have drawn this curve, the next step is to find out n by 2. N by 2, that means 100 by 2, it becomes 50. Now this 50 will be pointed on the y-axis. See here on the y-axis, the 50 would become between 60 and 40. So here is the 50. Now from this point 50, we will draw a perpendicular which would intersect this ogive at point E. Here you can see here this perpendicular is intersecting the ogive curve at point E. Now from this very point E we will draw another perpendicular on x-axis, and where this perpendicular intersect the x-axis, like here it is intersecting on 24, you can see here. So now this 24, that is the marks which is shown on the x-axis, is become our median. So this is how we can calculate median using less than ogive approach.